Hi guys, just for Cuber, in this new video I'm going to teach you how to solve the 4 slices Cubeshape cases into square one. Let's get started. So guys, the cool thing about the 4 slices cases is that they're all really easy because you only need to do 1 slice to get into a 3 slices cases, which we already saw in the previous video. So you just have to understand how the cases work and how to reduce them in easier cases. So for example, these cases that you should already know from the beginner method, for this case, you only have to cut it in half. So you get into scallop, scallop, and then you just solve scallop, scallop. For this other case, for example, it's basically the same. You can do a couple, a couple of things here. You can either cut it this way, so to get into scallop, scallop, and then solve it. Or you can also cut it in half and get into Ciao, Ciao. Personally, don't like this solution, so I always get into scallop, scallop. But it's just your choice. It's not really, it doesn't really matter. Now for this other case, in the beginner method, we basically bring these two down, misalign them, and get into this case. It's just a lot simpler. You just take it, you cut it in half. So by doing the slice, you get pon pon, the good one. So you just bring them here, and you go slice, fist, fist, slice, kite, kite, slice. Now for these cases, so let's start with this one first, which is a lot easier. So you see you have this kind of arch with these 6 edges, and these 2 paired on the bottom layer. Just have to take 2, okay, you preserve 4 there, and you take 2 and you pair them up with these 2 here, so you get scallop, scallop, and you just solve it. For this other case, it could seem a bit tricky, okay, at first, but it's actually very, very easy. Because you see that you just focus, after you see this case, you just focus on these 4 and this L, but actually you try to focus on this kind of pone shape and this L here. Because if you go and pair, for example, this L with these 2 edges, like this, you get into pone pone, which is a very easy 3 slices cases. Another thing that I want you to understand is that you can basically build a pone pone, or in general, you can reduce these cases both on the back, on front, top, bottom. You don't really care. You can also take these 2 edges, pair them up with this L here, okay? So you still get pone pone on the back, but you still get it, and that's what you want. So if you get a specific case from an angle which is basically not that good, you can just find a solution that works from that angle, so you like avoid maybe a U2 or a D2, which can be real annoying at square one. Now it's the same thing for this case. You recognize that you have, okay, my cat is just, I don't know what it actually did. Anyway, for this case, what you want to do is to, you see this shield here on the left, and you have this pair on the right. You just have to bring this down, so get into shield, shield, and then you can just solve shield, shield. Now guys, for these 2 cases, which are basically the same, but they're just like speculars, you can see, you recognize this line here, and these 4 pieces here, and you see a pair here. You know that by combining a line with a pair, get a kite, and these 4 just form a scallop. So by bringing down this line, you get into scallop kite, which is a really, really easy case that we already studied. And same thing for this case here. So you see the line here, the 4 pieces of the scallop, and the pair. You can just bring down the line this way, and then you get into scallop kite, and you solve it. Now guys, same thing for these 2 cases. In these 2 cases, you see the paired edges here, and here you see 4 pieces and 2 pieces. Here it's just very intuitive. You want to pair up this pair with this pair, and now you get into scallop, scallop. Now for this case here, it's basically the same, but the mirror. So for this case, you do the exact same thing. So you take this pair here and attach it to this other pair, so you get into scallop, scallop, which we already know. Now guys, for these two cases, you see that in this one here, you have these 4 pieces all together, and you also have this L here and this L here. To solve this case, it's very, very simple. You know that by pairing up 2 L's together, you get a kite. So that's everything you want to do. You just want to bring this L down, so you get scallop kite, which you know how to solve. Now for this case, this is not that intuitive, but if you pay attention to how the pieces are disposed, you will understand that it's just one slice away from pawn. In fact, if you kind of look only at the left side, here you see a pawn, and you'll see this pair with this L. In fact, if you pair these 2 pieces with the L, you're going to get a pawn, and this is a case that you already know, pawn. Now guys, these 2 cases basically work quite similar to the previous one. In fact, here's the L, and if you pay attention to this pattern, you can see that here on the left we have a kind of scallop, and here we have an L. So if we go and pair this L with the one on the bottom, this way, you see that we get scallop kite, which can be easily solved this way. Now for this other case, it's just the specular. You see the L here, as you can see, the L, and here you have a pseudo scallop. There's this L down here, so you can just pair this L and this L together, so to get scallop kite again, and you know how to solve this case. Now guys, for these cases, so these are probably the hardest ones for the 4 slices, because they're not intuitive at all, okay? I remember that I couldn't figure out a solution at the beginning, but then when I realized that it's so easy, I was like, holy moly, how can I understand it? So what you have to do in these cases is to see this kind of shield here on the left and this L here. And you know that if you bring this L down, you're going to get a square on bottom, and you're going to be left with a shield on top. So you get shield square, which is a very easy case. So you can just bring this L here, and then you solve shield square, which is pretty easy case. Now, this is the same. So you see this shield here on the right, and the L, which is up here. L, same thing here. You just want to preserve this pseudo shield and bring the L's on the same layer. Obviously, they mustn't pair up this way, okay? Don't bring up this L this way, otherwise you're gonna get kite shield, which is pretty bad. So just, they must create a square, and you just solve shield square. Obviously, you must be able to solve these cases on both layers. So if you have it like from this angle, you don't have to do a U to D2, but you see the L here, you just want to bring this L down and then solve the case normally. So you just have to get used to the cases and be able to solve them from all the angles that you're going to find. So guys, these 2 cases are very, very easy to. In fact, you can see this kind of 4 pieces on the left and this pair, which is here on the right, and you're going to have a line on bottom. To solve this case, you just have to bring this pair down, because you know that a pair plus a line gives you a kite, okay? So having a scallop and a kite means that we have a very, very easy cases with us. So you can just bring this pair down and then solve scallop kite as normal. Now, this is just the specular case, otherwise it's basically the same. So you see this pair here, these 4 which are going to form our scallop on the left. You're going to bring this pair down with the with the line. So you now have scallop kite, which can be easily solved. Now guys, this is also a quite annoying case. And you basically have to solve it in a pretty particular way. I mean, this is not intuitive, okay? This is not that intuitive at all. So to solve this case, which is fist pawn, you must think about, okay, what if I bring this L down so to create a square with this other L, okay? what will happen? So will I get a shield on top or will I get a scallop? Because this way, if you create the square, okay, you're gonna also get a shield on top, which means that you have a good case. Otherwise, this is not the case, I'm sorry, but otherwise it can happen that you just, if you try to create, for example, in this case, with this L and this L, a square on bottom, you're gonna get a scallop on top, and this is the bad case. So there are two different types of faced pwn, and you must be able to recognize them. I'm not really able to give you a tip. There's a way I do recognize them, but it's quite annoying. I don't know why I recognize cases that way, but I think you only have to think about it like that you bring down this L, and if you get a shield on top, then that's a good case, otherwise it's a bad one. So to solve this case, it says you get into shield square, and then you solve shield square normally. Because this other case just has a completely different solution. Now, these are the last two cases that we have for today. So the first one is scallop barrel. Scallop barrel basically has two ways to be solved in 4 slices, but I don't really like the second one, so I'm not even going to show you. The way you solve scallop barrel is just to to divide the scallop in half, and same thing for the barrel, but pay attention, you mustn't break the barrel horizontally, this way, but vertically, this way. So when you do a slice, you get into shield, shield, and now you can just solve shield, shield normally. Now for this case, which is the last one, and it's not intuitive at all, but it's very easy. It's muffin, shield. So how could we solve this case? So you see that the muffin is made up by a pair and a line, while the shield is just 2 pairs. But if you take like this line here on the right, and for the shield, you have these pairs in this position, so that when you go up, it gets paired up with these 2 pieces here. If you go up, on top you get a scallop, and on bottom you get a kite. This way, so you have these 2 here that are gonna form a kite with this line, and this pair, which is going to form a scallop with this other pair. So you just want to slice, so you get a scallop kite, and solve scallop kite. So that's a very, very easy but non-intuitive at all case. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Next time we will analyze 5 slices cases, which are more annoying because they're less intuitive than the 4 slices ones. But yeah, hopefully you understood everything. If there's anything not clear, just write down in the comments or on Instagram. We always respond to our messages. So hopefully you enjoyed. See you next video. Just for Cube here.